Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Give or Take podcast. I'm your host, Annelies, and today I'm accompanied by a very special guest. Um,
Hi, I'm Mojola. Saga.
okay, so a little bit about her. She's currently a senior as I am. We go to the same school, and we've been friends since when, Majola?
I'm guessing like middle school.
Middle
Middle school
school.
for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, back in those days. Yeah, so right now, we're both pretty much interested in the same field, right?
Right.
Business. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And then we're just going to talk about our high school journeys, especially as an early college kid,
Yeah.
and the transition now to college. Just crazy. But yeah. So let's start. So making friends and finding your crowd. How has that been for you? Now you getting so how has that been for you?
Um, I would say I'm definitely still finding my crowd. And I feel like a lot of that deals with you having to find yourself first.
Mm,
Like you can hang out with people, you can think they're chill in their vibe, but like after a while that vibe kind of dwindles and like the conversations just continue to become empty. And so after you find yourself and you grow up and you mature in whatever way possible or whatever
mhm,
way,
mhm.
your crowd changes. Your
Definitely.
needs changes mentally depending on your circumstance or situation.
Mhm,
And so for me personally, that's definitely been changing. Like I'm still friends with a lot of people,
mhm.
but the group that I primarily surround myself with is different.
Yeah, I feel like I have a very I've been saying this since forever, and it is that you have a lot of acquaintances, but
Yeah.
not all of them are your friends.
Hmm.
Which is crazy to me. Mhm. Yeah, it's just I feel like in high school, like a lot of people romanticize high school because of like the high school movies back in the day from
Yeah.
Disney, like the cliques and like famous people, or like not the famous, the popular kids.
Hmm.
I wouldn't say that's a thing.
It's really not. Like everybody's weird. Like
Especially in a nerdy
yeah,
school.
yeah, let's be so for real. Everybody's weird. So it's like there might be people that everybody knows,
Hmm.
but they're not really popular. They're just people everybody knows.
Especially in a small school.
Yeah, like I feel like back in the day we used to waste so much on that, like, but it's really not that serious because like at
Mm-mm.
the end of the day, you're not really worried about something like that.
Yeah, like we're not gonna break into like a musical or something.
I wish they would. I would leave immediately. Because why? What was the reason?
While we standing in the tables and
I'm
singing.
saying like, yo, these tables can break any minute now. Get your butt off the
Yeah.
floor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like I like going back to that um question, I feel like now I'm focused in creating, if I have the energy to, like creating long lasting friendships. I'm
Yeah.
not really looking into, okay, we have the same class, let's just be
Hmm.
friends because of that.
Hmm.
But actually, like, hey, do I actually see you, being my bridesmaid?
Hmm.
Hey, do I actually see you, actually flying out to visit me in another country because we have that strong of a friendship, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say long lasting is the new thing now.
Yeah. Because like, especially now that we're going into the real world, like let's all be so for real. Like after this, like I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna see half of y'all. And
Yep.
as you like you say that in freshman year,
Hmm.
and you say that sophomore year, but it don't
Yeah.
really hit you till you get to your like end of junior senior year. Like I'm really not going to talk to you again.
Literally.
And so I think now, like if I'm saying I'm not going to talk to you again after high school, why am I still talking to you now? And it's not necessarily me cutting off the relationship.
Mhm.
It's just me limiting the access that you have.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
And so now I'm not telling you all my business every now and then when I sit down to have a conversation with you. Now I'm
Mhm.
having very vague conversations with you, and we're still able to call ourselves acquaintances. And if we need something from each other, we can contact each other.
Yeah.
But I'm not telling you all that business.
Yeah.
But now I have friends who I can sit down. If I need to cry, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
If I need to scream, they will understand why I'm
Yeah.
screaming. So it's like those type of friends, whether or not they get past college, it's just the fact that I am able to rely on you whenever I have a difficult situation in my
Yeah.
life or when I just literally want to celebrate. So in those
Literally.
moments, if I can't have you in my life at those times, or you I just don't feel comfortable having you in those moments. There's no reason for me to keep on having a relationship with you if it's just not long lasting. Period.
Or like whenever someone sees you at your lowest, like I feel like a lot of people are there for the party. I feel like they're there to celebrate, but then when you really like you come back down to earth and you're going through life and you're struggling as a student, you're struggling as a daughter, you're struggling as like overall like a teenager, like they don't see that.
Yeah. And you have to kind of like sit down and really understand what is the purpose for these friendships. Because a lot of times we just have friends, but we don't really have like a purpose for them in our lives. So like I may have a friend who I honestly need whenever I feel bad because they are able to console me. They are able to hype me up when I need to be hyped up. Like, but I may also have a friend that I need when I need like some type of academic security. Like, I feel very insecure right now. I need you to help me, you know, again, hype me up. Like I really just need hype friends, you know what I mean? But it's like I don't need friends who are like, I don't need a friend who's gonna have to be there for every moment. Yeah. And I think for me, I'm not trying to be that friend for everybody. I tell people straight
it's exhausting.
It is very exhausting. Like when you're trying to be friends with every single person and try to maintain that relationship. But like for me, I tell people straight up, like I honestly cannot be that friend for you. I'm sorry. But like I can't feel an incredibly amount of guilt because I can't offer that for you. And I can't feel an incredible amount of resentment because you can't give that to me. It's just the reality.
It's just, yeah, and I feel like a lot of people would say to that, oh, so you're using them. No, it's just like there's certain characteristics that can't be transitioned to different things. Like, for example, someone who likes to celebrate, you know, wouldn't be good as like someone who would give you academic advice, actually ground you, you know what I mean? Yeah. So like it's different characteristics. That's why it's different friends. Like you don't have copy and paste of each friend. You have like different personalities. But yeah, that's what I think.
And I feel people mix up the word between use and manipulating. Like I may be using you, but I'm not manipulating you to force you to use, like for me to use you. Like I'm using you because you're something that I need. You're something that I'm attracted to. And I feel that you better my life. So yeah, I'm using you so that I can become a better person. So are you, vice versa. Yeah. But I'm not manipulating you. Now, if I was manipulating you, that's a completely different situation. That's a completely different situation. Different, because now I'm forcing you so that I can use you. Yeah. But if it's a really easygoing relationship,
I'm using your knowledge. I'm using your resources. Like you're using my knowledge. You're using my resources.
Yeah. Like at the end of the day, we're all using each other to build some type of wisdom or some type of better active person than we are before. That's just what life is.
Yeah. So transitioning to the next question I have here, how would you say to get involved in extracurriculars, especially at like an early college?
Start one. Like honestly, like being here at early college, when we first got here, it seemed like there was literally nothing at this school. Like I swear, sophomore year, it was just like I know I care about my academics, but I don't want to just care about my academics. Yeah. So if you have the opportunity or chance to start one. Even if you can't start one, just join one and just make a profile for yourself. Like the way you are able to be there for people or in whatever organization you are is how you are able to prepare yourself whenever you're in different situations later. Yeah. And so if you need to, you have an idea, start one or build a group of people that can help build it with you. Not everything has to have like, sometimes things don't even have to have like a general purpose or a general need. If it's something that you want to do it. Yeah. Try it out. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But like, if you just sit there complaining like, oh, the school, it ain't got no type of school spirit, it ain't got this, and you're not doing anything about it, you're contributing to the problem.
You have to make the quota.
And so for me, like, I won't say I necessarily started mock trial, but it was an invited idea that we brought when we had the class. And then we came back next year to have mock trial.
To have it as an official club.
Yeah, as an official club. And it became something that more and more people joined and liked. So like, yeah, it takes a lot of commitment, it takes a lot of work. But if you don't have to do it yourself. Like, you can have a partner or, like I said, a group of people who are there to build it with you and back you up. But if you feel like there's a need, and this goes for like without being in a high school or whatever, if you feel a need for something to be done, do it.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like you're mock trial president, right? Is that a thing?
Yeah, co-captains.
Co-captain. There you go, captains. And then I'm president of a club as well, Students for Christ. Leadership will drag you.
Oh, drag you, baby. It will drain you, kick you back.
Yes.
It will.
Yes, because you're dealing with all types of personalities, all types of attitudes, all types of
situations.
Oh my gosh, everything. So, what would you say about that? How your leadership skills have developed?
Honestly, I felt like before I even was put into a leadership position, I never thought of myself as a leader. I just always thought like I was one of those people that was so like you would talk about those people like they always try to take control of everything, but it's like no one else is taking control.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so, like,
you're a natural born leader.
If no one else is taking control, I'm here. I see what needs to be done. I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, for mock trial, like, it took a lot of patience. Like, I'm not going to lie, there's been battles within myself trying to figure out, do I even want to still do this? But because I have a passion for it, I'm still doing it. Because I love seeing people love it just as much as I do. I'm continuing to do it. But like the growth of a leader, it takes a lot. Because at first, because you're not necessarily a leader yet, you're trying to fight every single battle at once. You're trying to avoid things instead of address things. And so like that development of where you're able to be like, okay, wait a minute. I don't need to address this. This is not something that I have to put so much energy and time as much as I'm putting into something that needs a lot of my attention. So you have to like prioritize not necessarily what's best for yourself, but put yourself in the position of other people who are watching you and see, okay, if they see me doing this, they're not going to like, that's not going to make sense. Or if they see me doing this, or if I'm the person who's watching and I'm watching the leader, or just like how we watch presidents do stupid stuff, you're going to be like, what the heck are you doing? Yeah. So if it's because like, you're the one in charge. Yeah, you're the one in charge. Yeah. So if I'm trying to balance everything on my head and I have literally no control, I'm going to look like a fool. And I know I'm not a fool. I know I possess the abilities to be a very intellectual and amazing person because I'm astronomical. I love myself so much. Amen. But if how I'm presenting myself and how I'm acting is not of that, people are going to see that. So you have to like not necessarily waste too much on how people are going to see you, but think of how if you were the person who was not the leader and you were watching this, trying to hopefully be a leader someday, is that the type of person that you want to be? Yeah. Is that the type of things that you want to see in that organization? Is that how you would want things to be planned out? Yeah. No, I wouldn't want things to be planned out a week before. So I'm going to go ahead and start when I have the idea. I'm not going to want things to be addressed so frantically, so I'm going to calm down and create a plan. Yeah. I'm not going to try to avoid things and let them get worse before I actually address it. I'm going to put things in place that prevent that thing from actually happening. So being a leader, it takes a lot of work in yourself because it takes a lot of discipline. But even if you don't have discipline, it still takes a lot of work because you're still thinking about that discipline. So you're constantly chasing discipline at the end of the day. Yeah. I feel like one of the biggest things for me has been delegating. Yeah. Because it's not that I'm a perfectionist. I just like how I do things. And if people don't do it like that, I'm disappointed. Yeah. I'm like, why didn't you do it like how I would do it? And it's just like, Danellis, no, because they're not you. Yeah. So I've had to learn like, not the hard way, but like definitely it's hurt my ego a little bit because I'm just like, and it's actually made me mature and realize, hey, they have their own taste, they have their own style. Let them express themselves creatively in that way, and don't get in the way of it because you assigned it, like you assigned the task, but you didn't give them an outline, so they're using their own creative mind to do it. Yeah. So, and it's been great now that I've been delegating because it's like the weight has been lifted off my shoulders because I don't have to be perfect, like having every detail be perfect now. Yeah, because I've been delegating. And so definitely delegating. For sure. Like, and I think a lot of people forget that a big part of leadership is that you're still having to teach people. You're still having to mentor. Yeah. And so like, if you don't have that attribute, or if you don't even think of that when you're a leader, you're gonna have a lot of issues. Because I've worked in organizations where it's like you're not telling me what I need to do. You're
Mm-hmm.
giving me a task, but like
Yeah.
I'm new to this. What am I supposed to be
Mm-hmm.
doing exactly?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're telling me to make a spreadsheet. A spreadsheet about what?
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Is there any colors that you want to use? What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're getting mad at me when we're cutting next to the deadline. So it's like, you don't. That's why I'm always like, just because I'm a captain or whatever does not mean that I don't like to sit back and just watch people sometimes. Because
Yeah.
you watching from different positions, it broadens your perspective.
It definitely does. Yeah. I like sitting back and like I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, wait. I started this. Let's see what they would do in their own.
Yeah.
Like, let's see what things I've implemented in them, or like have worked with them that they now can like do by themselves. And it's amazing because when you see growth,
you see a lot of potential in people.
Yeah.
And things that you never realized that they can do, or things they didn't realize they can do. And a lot of it goes through like your interaction with people, like as a leader in this position. How you're talking to them is how sometimes they will end up talking to others. So when you're mentoring them, someone who comes on, they're new, you may not have to directly go and mentor that person. You can still mentor them, but they have another person that can mentor them as well. Yeah. And so that's just the biggest thing I would say about
it. Yeah, and like humility is another thing. You have to always be humble.
For sure.
You can't put yourself in a pedestal and then expect everyone to just like do as you say, just because you actually have to. Yeah, they have to want to follow you. Yeah. As a leader,
because people don't like sense.
Yeah,
like so it's not like they're gonna be following you willingly like every freaking time. Like if they think that you are doing something that's stupid, they're not gonna continue to follow you. And so for you to be a leader, you have to be able to you have to have a good amount of morality, but you also have to have a good amount of knowledge. And a lot of people ignore knowledge and choose ignorance, and then they're in problems and not wondering, oh, why aren't these people working? Because you're ignorant. You're not understanding where they're coming from. You're not having like the attributes of what a leader is supposed to do, or what a person in general, like you're not treating me like a person.
Yeah, they're close-minded.
Yeah. And so like from whatever position, whether you're a leader or not, a lot of times people will see you as that leader, not as a person. So if you don't hold those attributes to be empathetic or sympathetic, whatever, when you're talking to them, all they're going to see is a leader. They're not going to see that person in you.
And it sucks because it's just like I'm not a robot. Like I have my own personality and perspectives. Yeah. So moving on to the next thing, I put down here: how would you or did you manage schoolwork and tests? Like, or managing your time?
Not gonna lie, they kind of manage me. But I consider myself a very organized person. I will always have things organized. I just will not follow that organization. But I always like listed out everything I had to do. I'm the type who likes to get things early, so I always put the due date 2 days, 3 days, a week before it was due, so I can have it done. I love that excitement when you turn it in and you don't have to worry about it like that.
Or it's just over.
It's just over. Like you're closing all your tabs. Like I don't have to look back at you. Like you're over. You're done with. You're in the past. But like you have to. It's again. I usually like to attack things at like the same time. Like I'll be working on one thing, I'd be like, oh snap, I have to work on this. Forget about that. Start working on the other thing. And my mind and brain, I will just get so dragged along. And I wouldn't want to take a break. I wouldn't want to rest because I'm like, if I take a break, I'm going to watch a movie. And then if I watch a movie, I'm going to get up and I'm going to set a timer for an hour. And then I'm
4 hour nap.
Stay on that 4 hour nap. But I had to realize like, it's not that it's not okay to take breaks. You can take breaks, but I had to make my breaks be kind of workful breaks. Like I had to make it to where I was still working. It was just I'm not putting in as much work as before. So I'm making a to-do list. I will break down that. So let's say complete. I'm using, what do you call it? What is that thing called? Spreadsheet a lot. But like make a spreadsheet. I will break that spreadsheet, that task into different parts so that maybe I'm doing an assignment that requires the same thing. So let's say research, I would break that, like, let's do project about the bibliography of this and then also do the structural compound or whatever. So I would, if they both require research, I would just do the research at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm covering more ground and I'm getting more work done because I get to submit them both at the same time. And I just feel so great.
Yeah.
So
I feel like managing, I don't know, to me it's just like, as you said, the deadline manages you.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of have to get it done at the end of the day. Managing time, because I own an iPhone, I use the reminders.
Yeah.
Like, I have that, or like the notes app.
Mm-hmm.
Writing it down, I feel like it's just so much in my brain because it's like, okay, you have to get out a journal, and then you have to get the pen, and then it has to look pretty, because then if it's not pretty, you're not gonna do it. It's just that goes all in my mind.
And that's why I hate the enforcement of planners, because I actually like have found a new love of journaling and writing things down. I don't do it as much, but I love doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I hate the ideas of how planners are enforced because it's so structured to where everything has to be this kind of way. You have to do this kind of way. If you don't do it, it's not. So you have that whisper in your brain that's telling you all these things. So as you're trying to make that planner, you're trying to make everything look pretty. So you're bringing out all these little pens and all this different stuff to make it look cute. It does not need that, girl. If you don't make you some check boxes, write what you need to do, and call it a day.
Call it a day,
and
literally.
It's the same like impact. You cross it off, you feel so much relief. But because we have this idea of we have to have a planner, we have to write in this planner, we have to do this. It's like, oh my gosh.
It's so exhausting.
It's exhausting.
Yeah. The next thing I have here is dealing with hard teachers. I feel like as early college kids, I feel like there wasn't hard teachers in high school, but definitely professors.
Yeah. Because they're a different ball ground.
Definitely. Like,
yeah. I will say teachers could definitely be difficult, but I don't think, like, sorry, they could definitely be difficult, but you can't, like, in your mind, you just can't let them push you over.
Yeah.
So, like, you just have to deal with it. That's how it always ends up feeling, like, oh, I just got to deal with it. But, like, you have to not take it too personal.
Yeah.
And I had a situation with a teacher that actually put that a lot in my perspective, because so my Canvas wasn't working, so I can't do any assignments. So, and there was an exam that night, and I thought the issue would be fixed, so I didn't email him to that day of the exam that was due. And so I'm messaging him, and he's basically like, this is kind of odd that your Canvas is suddenly not working. And I literally was like, yes, it is. But I'm not lying. And so, like, sometimes they have to be hard because there are students who would actually be lying.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. There's a reputation of students who have already done that.
But in that moment, I was about to have a breakdown because I was like, I actually did have it. Not almost. I did have a breakdown. Like, I was bawling because I was like, no, this teacher is incredibly hard. He thinks I'm cheating. I'm not cheating. Why would I cheat? If I wanted to cheat, I would have been cheated. But no, my Canvas is not working. Right? And so it's like, for them, you like, sometimes it's hard to see their perspective of teachers, but the reality is your teacher's not going to always be able to grade your late assignment. You turned it in a week later. They have other students.
Yeah, they have a life.
They have a life.
Yeah.
So, like, sometimes you just have to be like, okay, sometimes it's not even them. It's literally just you. You have to do the work. Now, if you're doing the work and you have a question and they don't want to answer it, that's a different issue. But if it's like you're not doing the work and you're expecting them to just take your work when you turn it in randomly, no, that's not going to happen.
Exactly. Because it's just like you're doing it at your own pacing when I had already put it the deadline. I feel like hard teachers, it all depends, I would say, on how you treat them.
Yeah.
Because if you treat them rude,
you get what you get.
Yeah, like it's literally math. If you input A, you're gonna get A. Like that's just the way of life. And you know, sometimes there are rude teachers that they just don't care. They hate their life. They don't want to be working. But then you have to also work around that. Like, you just have to just do your best.
Yeah.
Turn in everything like in the deadline.
The thing is, there's no point of both of y'all being miserable.
Yeah, exactly.
If they're miserable, that's fine. I still have a lot of my years left. Not that they're dying soon, but like the reality is like I'm just starting my life. So I'm not going to be mad at you all my life because you didn't take my late assignment. I turned it in late. It's my fault. So sometimes you just have to analyze yourself, then analyze the situation, see what effort you need to put in. If you've done what you had to do, honestly, cry about it for like 15 minutes, move on.
Yeah.
Because bringing it into your next day, it's just going to ruin your whole mood and any productivity that you even had.
Literally. It's never personal.
It's never like
you just have to. I feel like once as business majors or like as a business major, I'm talking for myself.
Yeah.
It's just business. Like it has to get done.
Yeah.
If you didn't do it, make up for it. Move on.
Yeah. Like next time, come up with a better strategy.
Yep. Okay. Next thing. Any mistakes you made as a freshman you want like any viewer like watching us as freshmen to avoid?
Oh, that's a great question.
Our year was online.
It was
our
online.
freshman year was online. We can't really talk about like
because freshman year specifically, maybe like
sophomore year,
like what yeah. So
or just underclassmen in general.
So I think during I'll say my freshman to sophomore year, I thought my mistake at the time was that I didn't take any college classes yet because I felt super behind. Because for me, I didn't take my first college class besides EDUC until my second semester of my sophomore year. So everybody had already had like 2, 3, 4 classes. I'm with 2. Considering EDUC. So at that time, I thought my mistake was not taking more classes. But then I finished my degree within a year and a half. So it was like, that was not a mistake. You did what you had to do. You were happy your freshman year. You were happy your sophomore year. You were able to enjoy that time. So that was not a mistake. But I would say my mistake after was putting so much weight on having to be perfect.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I got 1 B and I thought I was gonna fail in life. I got a B.
And the way that we're laughing about it now.
Right now, like it was just like, well, I always laughed about it because life was just hilarious.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
I would still be crying, but I'd be like, people actually thought I was crazy. Yeah, I am crazy for laughing at my problems, but like, it's just like you're gonna sit and cry. You cry for 10 minutes. After you're done crying, like you're gonna keep worrying about it, keep shaming yourself. So I would say putting so much weight on that, and also just shaming yourself even more because you did your best. That probably wasn't my best, but at the time, that's all I could give. And so, yes, I could have done more. But me sitting here 2 years later complaining about how much more I could have done, it's not gonna change it. It's not gonna change it. Like if I sit down here now and I do more now, that makes a greater difference than me sitting down worried about what I did dwelling in the past. Yeah, like dwelling in the past is not. You're staying in the past when the future is running. Like my mom has always said, time doesn't wait for anybody. Yeah. So you trying to go back in time and change things, something else is just gonna happen again. You're putting too much pressure on yourself. So that's what I would say would be my biggest mistake.
What would I avoid?
You gotta be real now.
You gotta be real. Definitely don't get into a relationship. Ooh. And it's not to expose my business out there, but it's just like, first, you're an early college kid that has a lot of responsibility as it is. Second, you're a teenager. Like you are a literal teenager. Yeah. Like the percentage of high school sweethearts staying together is so low.
Their stories are beautiful, but
story is definitely beautiful.
It takes a lot.
Like I would rather have a story that goes around the lines of, okay, we met in high school, didn't talk that much, but we reunited when we were adults. That's better for me. Story. But then, I mean, if you have that type of story that goes, hey, we dated from high school all the way, like for the rest of our lives. And I was just like, and then we got married and we had kids. That's amazing too, but
it's not.
You have like you have to prioritize school, and like it's not that I'm saying that's the only way in life to live off of, but this is your current stage. Like this is where society as a whole is expecting you to do. This is what the taxpayers in Houston are like preparing you to do. Like this is what your parents are expecting of you to do. Like it might not be a big deal to you, but a high school certificate may mean to your parents that, okay, this is the first milestone of all the grind that we put into. Like, this is what we have harvested. This is the first thing we've harvested from the time we got here to like 12 years after, you know what I mean? So it's just prioritizing, like, you can get so caught up, and it's just would I say I regret it? Probably not. Would I say it was inconvenient at the time? Definitely. Did I need it at the time? I did not. I really did not. As you said, I should have focused on myself and discovering myself, because I did, like, if you're insecure as it is, you're gonna expect that person to be everything for you, and that just is just not possible. Like, it's not possible. They're probably gonna, say I love you once a week, but that's it. Like, you can't expect them to, like, be your everything.
Yeah, like, I was never really interested in relationships because I was like, I'm in high school.
You say exactly.
Like, I'm in high school. Like, okay, you have a little boyfriend. Okay, you have class in 8th grade. Like, come on, like, come on.
Yes.
And it's not that having those relationships are necessarily bad. It's just that it's like, it's not. You shouldn't weigh too much.
Yeah.
You shouldn't.
Yeah.
Force it
Yes.
to be the end all be all.
You can't be the one making it work.
Yeah, and it can't be your only achievement.
Exactly. Like, I graduated high school, the only thing I did was have a relationship. No. You have to, like, as we talked about extracurriculars, you have to, like, at least you don't have to be in leadership, but you have to be active to the point that you're a member of something.
Yeah. Like, high school is honestly the time for you to find yourself. Like, for me, my transition from middle school to high school, I had to take a lot of time to figure out who I am, love myself, be okay with who I am, how I present myself to people. I had to build that up. So, yeah, relationships are nice, but it's like,
and we're talking about romantic relationships.
Yeah, romantic relationships. And you can have friendships. That's okay. But,
yeah.
Like,
you need friendships.
You need friendships. But it's like, as for romantic relationships, like, honestly, I've always been the person that cannot be my main goal. Like, I try to show now I show a lot more affection than I did before, but I can't let that be the main thing I focus on. Like, yeah, having affection is good, being all that is cute, but I could do that on my own. I would rather find myself, and then when I do want to enter a romantic relationship, it's a relationship where I feel secure in myself and secure in the relationship.
And it would be an addition to what you already have built.
Yeah, like, I don't want anything to be what I like. I don't want the relationship to just be that one thing that I've built. And you can build on it, of course, but, like, I want to have something for my own.
I want the foundation to be what I've done, like, not what we have done.
Like, that's cute. Like, yeah, we done something, but, like, girl, not accomplishment.
Like, it's like, for example, like, a degree, nobody can take it from you. It's yours. It's literally yours.
I wish they would try to take it away from me.
Like you're the one who put in the hours.
Because who do you think you are? But, it's not even just about individualism. It's just that you don't want to look back years later and be like, I don't know who I am. That's what I've always never wanted. I don't want to be 25. 25 is young. I don't want to be 30, 40, just figuring out who I am. Yeah, maybe figuring out what I like again or finding new interests, sure. But just finding myself when I've already had so much of my life. And of course, I still have so much of my life left. Definitely. But, like, that's so unpredictable. So, like, I want to take the time to enjoy the time that I have with myself. Build myself up to be the best person I can possibly be. And even if I can't reach that person yet, to just be able to aim at that best person I could possibly be.
Or start walking in the footsteps of that person.
Yeah, like
the person you envision yourself to be.
Fake it till you make it, girl. I'm not who I want to be yet, but I'm trying to be who she is. Yeah. I'm trying to live up to what she would do. I'm trying to live up to her expectations. So I was like, having a relationship, it's not bad. Like, go ahead, girl. I'm rooting for you.
If you can manage it,
Yeah, be happy. Like, honestly, if it's what makes you happy and you are able to still grow in your maturity, still understand
that's the thing. That can't be like the only factor in your life.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Wishing you the best.
Yeah, let's go to the next one. I think it's What do you know now that you wish you knew back then?
You put a lot of expectations on yourself. Now, this is me personally.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't expect that from you. So yeah, you have like huge expectations for yourself. You want to be better than what people could ever imagine, but you don't have to do that much. You know what I mean? You can relax. You can settle down. Like, I always thought it would be like you're punishing yourself if you're taking a break. You're punishing yourself if you're relaxing. You're punishing yourself if you're
Oh
not
my
doing
gosh,
this.
yes, you're so right.
But like, you don't have to be doing 10 million things. You don't have to be the mini president of the United States at the age of 12. You don't have to be owning a business or starting a business at 14, 15. You don't have to be doing all these things. That's what you see, but it's definitely not what you have to do, because it's definitely not definitive of who you will become or where you will go. Like, yeah, you have that title and that's great. That's an amazing accomplishment, but you don't have to achieve that. You don't have to have a recognition from the mayor to be a great person. You are a great person, period. So exhaust that in you. Take the break if you need it, girl.
Yeah, like,
go to the spa.
Literally, I remember I used to like take naps, right? And I would feel so guilty when I would wake up. But like, looking back now, and like even now that I take naps, I'm like, I'm never gonna get this time back. I'm never gonna be 17 being able to take a nap after school. Like, that's not gonna be given back to me, because guess what? I'm gonna be pushed into the real world trying to pay bills, and that's the reality of things. Take the break, take the nap.
I pray to God I can still take naps, because honestly, naps are the best. I sleep, but I'm learning how to nap. But
definitely, yeah. I think I've also had to learn that, because why was I going to sleep at 3 p.m. and waking up at 9 in the morning? Oh, okay.
That's worrying. But no, I also had to realize that a lot of times I was sleeping to escape a lot of my problems.
Definitely.
Like, just to shut my brain off. But I'm waking up with those same problems 10 times worse because I took a nap. Because I used all that time to do something. Like, yeah, it sucks, but like, you have to use that time strategically. So I used to just do this thing, and I still kind of do, where I get home, I do at least one thing an hour a day that is productive. That 1 hour, even if I do take that nap, well, at least I did something. Instead of taking that nap, waking up, oh, I didn't do anything at all. It could be an hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes. It's like, literally, as you build that up into a routine, that hour will feel like, oh, I did all that in an hour. Let me add another hour to it. You do another hour. You do another 15 minutes. You do another 30, to the point where you don't even feel like that desire to escape from your problems. You don't feel like you're pushing yourself against
You're just
the
like,
wire.
let's just get it done.
Yeah, like, just get it done. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to sit down and literally go, oh, I have an assignment. You do it right there and then, and it's done. And I'm still learning how to do that, but the fact that I've started is a great accomplishment. So that's just what it is. Like, taking off those expectations that you have on yourself it could be a lot. It can take years to do, honestly. It took me years to do, but it doesn't have to be something that you rush.
Yeah, and also like this is for my personal, is just like your body image. I used to focus, like, not a lot, but I would just judge myself so much. And I'm like, girl, stop it right now, because I'm like, I've gotten like a lot of stories from people. They're just like, I wish I would not have hated myself back when I was 17, because I have a whole different body now. I've had kids. It's just different. Like, I wish I would have loved myself. And I feel like that's something like our generation does a lot, like body positivity. I like that. Like, that's pretty cool, because you're a teenager, like, you're going, like, your hormones are all over the place. Like, your body's still developing. Your brain isn't gonna be fully developed until like 35 or something, or like 25, I think it is. And it's just crazy. Like, stop pressuring yourself. Like, if you don't work out, that's great. You can build a routine once you're older, like once you have more independence. like from your parents. You can build a gym routine that
Yeah.
like not everybody's gonna go to the gym, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like and you can even start a routine at home, whatever works for you, but don't let other people's reality like affect you as a person.
Yeah, and don't let people's judgments of themselves bounce back on you.
Like reflect on you.
Yeah, because I've gotten bullied. I've gotten comments, and I understand. Shoot, and those comments I would make to myself, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, girl, you are cute. Okay, let's be real. Your skin is nice, it's glistening. You look polished. You look good. You smell good.
You look clean.
You look clean. You look clean. Like, let's be so for real. But no, like you're gorgeous. You may not see that now, but like you take this real cute photo. You got the sun glistening in your face. You feel that real good moment, girl. You may look at that picture and be like, "Ooh, who was that?" But when you grow up, you're gonna be like, "Who is that?" You know, like
Exactly.
there's a different type of transition in your life. Like if you want to change and be better, do it. But don't do it because other people are telling you have to do it because you want to. Do it because you have the desire to be better. And like think of it like you're not changing yourself. You're bettering yourself.
You're bettering yourself.
Because when you say, "Oh, I have to change this, I have to fix this," you're treating yourself basically as a robot. You're not a customizable toy. Like you don't just, "Oh, I don't like your hair." You take off the dress or whatever. You put a new dress on, and you're fixed. No, that's not how life works. Shoot, that dress might be expensive. You gotta save up for that dress, and with saving up for that dress, you have to make sure that you have extra pocket money for another dress that you want or whatever else that you want. So it's like you have to take time. These things take time. So don't rush yourself to be better or to be what people want you to be. Be who you want to be and better than that, and better yourself and not fix yourself.
Get to the highest level of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now we can transition to the senior part. So we're now in senior year. We've talked about our underclassmen experience. We've talked about the advice we would give ourselves or even you guys. So now let's get into the senior part. What's been the best part about being a senior so far? Any perks?
Freedom.
Definitely.
Freedom. Because, like, I don't have to be in class. Like, I love that I only have, like, 2 high schoolish classes. Like, I love that. So being able to have that freedom where if it's like, okay, you don't have class no more, I can do what I gotta do. I don't have a teacher telling me, "Oh, the bell doesn't dismiss you." I do.
Oh my gosh, so annoying.
I used to hate that because I would leave right now. But because what you gonna do?
Yeah,
you're gonna go tell somebody what they gonna tell you. Class is over.
Yeah, like our biggest worry is turning in fee waivers and like doing college stuff.
But with that freedom, it also comes with a lot of things that you hate. But being able to have the freedom to hate it because you have time to explore it is better. And so I say having that freedom, having the wisdom from the years before, being able to just like you're able to explore things at a higher rate now. Like you're opening your eyes to the possibilities of life. It also sucks because you're also opening your eyes to the possibilities of life. And everything just seems so like eye opening. Like,
yeah, it's like a roller coaster.
Yeah, like taxes.
What? What's that? Yeah. My favorite part of senior year, besides the freedom, of course, is just being there for like underclassmen or just being able to tap into other interests that I have. For example, this podcast. I'm able to do this and not be in class. Like right now, I'm not in class. And I get to pursue other creative pursuits because of the freedom. And also with the underclassmen, like you can just tell them to calm down. You're like, you'll get through it. Like Collier, like you'll get through it. You know what I mean?
Like it is not that serious.
Yeah, it's never that serious.
It's just 1 year.
You just have
not
to.
Even 1 year. It's 10 months.
Literally, exactly. So it's just you get to kind of sit back. You kind of get to talk to teachers on a real level now because you used to get lessons from them, but now you're actually going to them for actual life advice. Like, how did you go through college? How did you pay for your college? Like, those type of questions that you didn't ask when you were underclassmen. So I like the realness of senior year, even though I don't like the realness of senior year.
Yeah.
Um, and that's just to say that I also like the amount of freedom that you get to discover other things you
Hmm.
like openness.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, these underclassmen are really cool. Like, y'all are some cool people, and like, it's fun talking to y'all because, like, when y'all come, like, I love giving advice to people. You sit down and talk to me, I'll try to advise you in some type of way if you ask for it.
Hmm.
And so, like, being able to talk to these people who literally have no idea what's about to come through, and they're panicking, and they're, and
Hmm.
you're just like, girl, relax. They really be like, girl, what you be relaxed? But like the situation is like, really, yeah, relax. Like you're able to put down that wisdom so they don't go through the same issues that you do or did. And
Hmm.
so like talking to them is fun. Having those conversations are fun. I'm not gonna miss I'm lucky gonna miss them because they're really cool people. And like being able to just be that mentor for them, or like just how you go to teachers, like they're able to come to you. That's really cool because a lot of times as students, you don't get to be able to do that.
Yeah.
You don't get like who are you advising me? But
Hmm.
now you have the experience to where people want to come to you, and that's really
Hmm.
cool.
Yeah. And talking about like missing, I have a question here, and it says, "What are you feeling nostalgic for as graduation approaches?"
Everything that I've done in high school,
Yeah.
so like it's like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna be able to sit at lunch in a circle table and play
Exactly.
freaking cards all day.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to be going to HCC and sitting in a study room all day. Like I'm not gonna be able to be sitting making fun of whatever teacher comes across the hallway.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
I'm not gonna be able to sit here with and be in the club and engage in all these things because if I do, it's weird because I'm a grown adult. Why am I here?
Exactly.
So it's
Hmm.
like all these things that you've ever done in your high school years. It's like, oh my gosh,
Because
it's
now when you
ending.
walk into the building as an alumni,
Yeah,
it's
pretty
just you
much.
can't blend in anymore. Like
Yeah,
you're always gonna be like part of that. Like high school is always gonna be part of you, but you're not always gonna be
part of high
like high
school.
school. Like you're not always
Hmm.
gonna have to like fit in.
Right.
Back in as a student, you're gonna be considered as an adult, and it's crazy. It's just like it's crazy. I think, yeah, the next question is, what are you gonna miss most about high school when you graduate? This is kind of like the question, but what I was gonna say about this is, like, especially our school, I feel like I like the the comfort of it. I like the security, even though we don't our only security guard left. But
He wasn't even security.
yeah, he was a hall monitor. But it was like I could literally leave everything that I own in one table in the cafeteria,
Hmm.
and it would still be there when I came
Come back.
back.
Like, yeah.
And it's that comfortability, it's that security in the school, it's that school culture that we've created as a school, because it's such a small school that if I take something from you, I'm gonna see you with it 3 days after,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna recognize that it's mine. So it's
Hmm.
just like there's no, you shouldn't be touching it either way.
Hmm.
So I'm definitely gonna miss that. Like I spent so much time. Like as a student, you spend so much time in your school that you don't recognize that. Like that's kind of your second, not home, but like that's your second house. That you just obviously it's different, definitely
Hmm.
different. You can't be laying in the floor and stuff. But it's just you spend so much time there that you don't recognize it, and it's just like
Yeah.
I spent this amount of days in school. Like, might as well just make it my own. My own.
Personalize it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, honestly, yeah, I agree with you because the school is so small. Let's be
It's so small. It's literally a
like
triangle.
you're not dealing with a lot of people every day. So like
Mm-hmm.
one of the things like it's not that I don't like people. It's just that it takes me a while to get comfortable with people.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I'm afraid of when I get to college is that I'm going to be so panicky because of how many people
Mm-hmm.
are actually there. Like, and I'm not going to know everybody. Like, I may not know everybody over at the school, But if I see your face, I'm gonna recognize you.
Yeah, like I might not know your name, but I know your face.
You go to my school.
Mhm.
You go to my school.
Mhm.
When I get to university, I don't know you. I don't know nothing about you.
And we're all adults.
And we're all adults.
Mhm.
I don't know your intentions. I don't know nothing about you.
Mhm.
And now I have to sit. I've always thought about the whole sitting in a door with a stranger thing. Like, that is crazy.
Oh Lord.
But that comfort that you have at school is definitely going to be missed, because there's no other place that you'll find that's like that.
No.
Like, you can try your best, but every school that you've been to, it's been a different type of environment, different type of thing, because it's all personalized to who you are at that point. And so that comfort is something that you'll never feel again. Like you said, you can come back in, but like, you coming back in, they're gonna be looking at you like, look at these grown adults. Like, I would never come back. Like how Sam,
like, you're not gonna be able to sit down.
Like, yeah, you're not gonna be able to sit down. You sit down, they gonna look at you so weird.
Yeah, it's just like,
yeah. So it's like, you're never gonna have that again. So I'll cherish it. Don't dwell on it, but cherish it.
Yeah.
It's something that you'll miss later on.
Yeah, definitely. I have 2 questions left. What are you looking forward to for the like remainder of senior year? Is it prom? Graduation? No, neither.
Like, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not. That's not. I'm not.
You're not.
super
That's not your
excited.
focus.
Yeah. I'm trying to see which college I end up at.
Definitely.
I'm
I
like-
want to. You want to secure your next step.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I'm actually very scared what school I'm gonna end up at. But I would say that's what I'm most looking forward to. But also graduation, yeah. But I'm also kind of scared for graduation, because it's like, after graduation, I can't really. Like, we're done. Like, it's gonna feel so great, but after like a week or two,
if you really don't want to, you don't have to come back in August.
No, you
not here. I mean, you don't have to go back to school in August if you really don't want to.
Yeah, like,
that's crazy. That's scary, because you're so used to a routine.
Exactly, and then you don't have to make your schedule according to the school.
Oh my gosh,
Like,
yes, exactly.
You
have to fill it every single.
Yeah, like, if you want a class at 6 p.m., go at it, girl. I wouldn't have done it at 6 p.m. Like, after 5, you're.
Yeah, my brain just doesn't
Like,
it doesn't do a lot like much learning after 6 or like after 5.
Yeah, it can still function, just not to the best of its ability.
But not to learning. I won't grasp onto things. Yeah, definitely.
I'll just be listening to you and barely doing that. Like, be fighting for my life while you're talking.
Yeah.
But
so, like, just to end this episode, because this is like the first episode in a long time, because I haven't been recording.
To bring somebody a
like,
grand entrance. You have to make time. So you have to prepare y'all for me.
Yep. I just captured what you said. No, but what would be like your ending advice? Just some words that you want to say.
Aim to be better, but you don't always have to be the best in every situation. You can be better than, but you have to understand that what people consider being the best is not always the best. Like, you could serve a different purpose no matter where you go. So you're not always going to provide the same things in each place that you go. So you're not going to always be a leader. You're not always going to be a student. You're not always going to be a mentor. You're going to have different purposes in each of those groups. So don't try to be the best at everything. Just be better than who you were before. Yep. So that's how it ends off.
Yeah. Challenge yourself. Definitely challenge yourself. Yeah. See your full capacity. But yeah, this has been the podcast with Mojola. I'm so happy to have had you. We've been planning this, guys, for the longest. But yeah, thank you so much for listening and tuning in. And be sure to follow on all platforms, and we'll see you guys then.
All right.
Bye.